I'm not sure if I should say it or not. I'm debating. I'm debating. I'm debating. I'm not sleeping. I slept last night, Baruch Hashem, very well. I'm going to say it. Thank you. But sometimes what I'm going to say could be so sensitive and so delicate that I need to make sure that God willing, Hashem will put the right words in my mouth to say the right thing. We spoke at length about men's holiness. We touched very superficially on the ladies' department. If it's the topic of modesty or the topic of family purity, going to the mikveh. Baruch Hashem, today mikvehs are a spa. It's not the olden days. So I hope and I pray that everyone related to us and everyone listening and watching goes to the mikveh. And if you don't, take this class as an opportunity to activate this mitzvah. That is an interesting concept that although we call it family purity, who is the one who goes to the mikveh? The wife. Who is the one that experiences the cycle? The wife. Who is the one who does the internal checkings? The wife. So why do we call it family purity? Call it the mitzvah of the purity of the wife. Short answer. Because this link of the relationship between husband and wife that is based on the laws of midah, of family purity, it has a direct influence on the entire family. The holiness of the children, the godliness of the children, even the behavior of the children gets determined in part by the topic of family purity. As I said before, physical contact between husband and wife is a mitzvah, but it's important for the relationship as well. But obviously, it needs to be done with kavod, with respect, with derech eretz in the proper fashion. Because at the end of the day, like it or not, even something so physical like relationship between husband and wife, it carries a spiritual connotation. Perhaps we don't see it, perhaps we don't understand it, but even in that, there is an aura of godliness in the action of the person's life. And that's why in Jewish law, there is no such a thing as living together. There is no such a thing as, let me spend one night. There is no such a thing as going with a stranger. Why not? Because that mere act that is not done with the spouse of the husband and the wife of the husband can bring down the spirituality of the husband. One husband complained to me the other day that he's not doing anything with his wife for a very long time. This is one question that I received a few weeks ago. Unfortunately, not all the time my meetings are happy or my questions are easy or nice. Sometimes are very rough questions. And sometimes we need to delegate the question to someone more seasoned and someone more experienced in order to guide us accordingly. And that's, I will say, that's what a lot of rabbis do. So I tell you the question that came, and it says, a man was asking permission to be with a stranger. This was the question. I know it sounds crazy. He says, but you married? Yes, but we are separated for 3 months. Yani, what do you mean? You divorced? No. You sleep in separate bedrooms? No. Same room? Yes. I mean, I start asking, same bed? Yes. So why not connection? Because my wife is always tired. I said, hold on. Physically or emotionally? I asked him this question. He tells me all of the above. So I spoke to the wife. She gave me the permission to call her with the husband's permission. And she tells me, Rabbi, I'm a lady, and for this I need to apologize to the ladies in advance. And I also want, but you know what? My husband treats me like a shmate. Do you know what that means? Shmate?
Trapo.
Hazaku Baruch.
Trapo.
My husband, in Spanish they say, me trata como un trapo. Doesn't treat me nice. Yells at me, screams at me, and is only nice to me when he wants something from me. But 95% of the time, I go to sleep crying. Do you understand? I said to the husband, after I spoke to the wife, I have the solution. Is the husband said, what, you found me a heter to do it? I said, yes, with your wife only. But Rabbi, she doesn't want. I said, she doesn't want because you're treating her like a piece of garbage. That is the statement that I told the husband. And the husband froze. He froze in front of me. And he says, Rabbi, how can you say such a thing? And he says, listen, I spoke to your wife, and she tells me that most of the nights she goes to sleep crying because the way you talk to her, because the way you're treating her, the way you complain about her, the way that your vocabulary is never a compliment, but always complaining. And you think that your wife wants to give you a hug or wants to give you a kiss, God forbid, when you treat her like a piece of garbage? No, you're right. And he always ask her, why do you cry? Says, you are the reason why she's crying. You want to change your shalom bayit? Start with the words. Show her your remorse. Show her your willingness to change. Treat her properly. And when she is ready, she will be ready for you. Don't ask me what happened next. I was not given an update. I was not given a report. But I said to myself, the fact that he did not come back to me, so far, looks like a good sign. So for the wonderful ladies watching or listening, and the men, if anything that I may have said today may have felt maybe below the belt to a certain extent, everything is said L'Shem Shamayim. This is only to make our life better, because we have the potential. If we are willing to recognize the need to change or the need to enhance or improve, for sure the Borei Olam will give each and every one of us the opportunity to live a happy, joyous, loving, and meaningful life. Baruch Adonai Le'olam.